You ever look at someone your age, maybe younger, and feel like they're 10 laps ahead of you in life's marathon? They've got the career, the house, the relationship, the vacations, and you're still trying to remember where you left your socks this morning. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." If you feel behind, it's not because life is punishing you. It's because you're looking sideways instead of forward. And today, I'm going to show you the Stoic way to stop that crushing feeling of being behind and start moving with clarity and peace. Before we dive in, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. It helps us grow this community of people who want to live with wisdom without needing to win a fake race. Number 1, understand the illusion of being behind. The first thing to realize is that being behind is not a fact. It's a perspective. Life is not a straight road with clear milestones. It's a messy, winding path where everyone is taking turns you can't see. The Stoics remind us that your control is over your own steps, not over the speed of others. Epictetus would say, "It's not the events themselves, but the opinions about the events that trouble us." Feeling behind is simply an opinion you've adopted, not an absolute truth. Think about it. You could be 25 and think you're late to start your career, then meet someone who began theirs at 40 and still thrived. You could be single at 30 and think you're doomed, then find someone at 50 who changes your life completely. Time frames are man-made. Nature doesn't check your age before letting you bloom. When you compare your pace to someone else's, you're ignoring every hidden detail of their journey. You see the highlight reel, not the setbacks, the doubts, or the nights they cried into their pillow. You don't know how many times they failed before they succeeded. Comparing yourself is like judging a book by the movie trailer. You're not getting the full story. If you want to escape this mental trap, you have to stop measuring your life on someone else's timeline. Replace "I'm behind" with "I'm on my path." Because in reality, you can't be behind in a race you were never competing in. Number 2, shift your focus to what you control. Feeling behind often comes from staring too long at things you can't change. You can't control where you started in life, how fast opportunities came, or whether luck has favored you. What you can control are your choices today, your actions this week, and your attitude toward challenges. The Stoics teach the dichotomy of control, the mental discipline of focusing only on what is within your influence. Instead of asking, "Why am I not there yet?" ask, "What's one step I can take right now?" Even small actions compound over time. Watering a plant daily might not make it grow overnight, but neglect it for a week and you'll see the difference. Here's a simple truth. Complaining about your pace doesn't make you faster, it makes you tired. Imagine being in a boat. If you spend all your energy yelling at the current, you'll never have the strength to row. But if you pick up the oar and row every day, even slowly, you'll eventually get somewhere worth reaching. So, focus on the oar in your hands, your habits, your learning, your persistence. The people you think are ahead might actually be drifting without direction, while you're steadily rowing toward a destination that matters to you. Number 3, recognize that progress is invisible at first. A big reason people feel behind is that they can't see their own progress. The early stages of any journey are invisible to the outside world, and sometimes even to yourself. The Stoics knew that the most important growth happens in the mind before it shows in results. Think of a blacksmith heating metal. The first strikes don't look like much, but each blow, each minute in the fire, is shaping something strong and useful. If you judge your progress too soon, you'll think nothing is happening and give up before you see the transformation. The problem is that modern life teaches us to measure progress with visible milestones, the job title, the relationship status, the follower count. But real growth doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it's simply that you react more calmly to a problem you would have panicked over last year. Sometimes it's choosing to act instead of procrastinate. If you're in the season where the results aren't obvious, remember, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. The roots of a tree grow silently before the leaves appear. Keep going. Your growth will show when the time is right. Number 4, redefine what ahead actually means. One of the greatest mistakes is thinking that ahead automatically means better. A person with a mansion and a sports car might be spiritually bankrupt. A person who's married young might be in a miserable relationship. Outward progress doesn't always equal inner fulfillment. The Stoics measured success not by wealth or status, but by virtue and peace of mind. If your actions align with your values, you are already ahead, even if you're still building your external life. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Many people who look ahead are actually living behind their own integrity. Here's the funny part. You could spend years chasing what others have, only to realize you never wanted it in the first place. That's like sprinting toward a finish line, crossing it, and realizing it's someone else's race entirely. Instead of asking, "How can I catch up?" ask, "What's worth catching?" Your definition of progress might be different from the crowd's. And the moment you choose to live by your own metrics, you stop feeling late. You start feeling free. Number 5, stop romanticizing other people's journeys. When you feel behind, it's tempting to look at others and think they've had it easier, faster, or better. But you're comparing your behind-the-scenes footage to their highlight reel. You don't see the chapters they'd rather erase. Seneca warned against envying others, because you rarely want all of someone's life, just the polished parts. You may want their career, but not the stress that comes with it. You may want their relationship, but not the arguments and compromises it demands. If you took the whole package, you might hand it right back. The danger of romanticizing someone else's path is that it makes you devalue your own. You start chasing their milestones instead of building the life that truly fits you. This creates a constant state of restlessness. You're moving, but always towards someone else's destination. So the next time you're tempted to envy, pause and ask, would I trade everything, struggles included, for their life? If the answer is no, then stop comparing. You're not behind. You're simply walking a road that looks different. Number 6, use being behind as a strategic advantage. Believe it or not, feeling behind can actually be an advantage. Why? Because when you feel like you're not where you want to be, you're more open to learning, experimenting, and growing. The overconfident ahead crowd often stops improving because they think they've already made it. If you're starting later in something, you often start smarter. You get to learn from the mistakes of those who went before you. You avoid trends that burned others out. You skip methods that no longer work. In a way, being behind lets you take the express lane through wisdom others had to pay for with years of trial and error. The Stoics would say, the obstacle is the way. If your late start feels like a setback, reframe it as a unique positioning. You're not on page 1 of the book. You've already read some chapters, you know the plot twists, and you can make better decisions moving forward. Life is not a sprint, it's closer to hiking. Some people run ahead then burn out. Others move steadily and enjoy the view. The beauty is that in the end, there's no trophy for fastest. There's only the satisfaction of having lived well. Number 7, anchor yourself in the present moment. The fastest way to feel behind is to live in the past or the future. The past says, you should have started earlier. The future says, you'll never catch up. Both steal the only time you actually have now. The Stoics were masters of presence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, confine yourself to the present. This isn't just poetic, it's practical. When you focus on what you can do today, you shrink your problems to a size you can handle. You stop being paralyzed by the endless gap between where you are and where you think you should be. Here's the reality. Nobody wakes up one morning and suddenly feels caught up. The feeling of enough comes when you train your mind to appreciate the step you're taking right now. You can build a meaningful life without rushing. The turtle doesn't envy the rabbit. It just walks its path. So breathe. Take one action today, however small. Do it again tomorrow, and the next day. Soon, you'll realize you were never truly behind. You were simply on your own timeline, which is exactly where you were meant to be. Number 8. Accept that timing is out of your control. One of the biggest traps when you feel behind is thinking that life is late because you are late. But the Stoics remind us that timing belongs to the universe, not to us. Seeds don't all sprout at the same time, even if planted in the same soil. Some lie dormant until the right season. Your season will come, but won't arrive by force. Trying to rush your timeline is like yelling at the sun to rise faster. You'll lose your voice long before the day begins. Epictetus taught that peace comes from aligning your will with the flow of life, not fighting it. This doesn't mean you do nothing. It means you take the right actions, then allow the results to unfold naturally. When you accept that timing is beyond your control, you release the constant anxiety of when and focus more on how. How you live while waiting matters more than when things happen. Many people get what they want quickly, but live in a state of constant panic because they haven't learned patience. So instead of asking, why not now? Ask, how can I prepare myself so, when the right moment comes, I'm ready? Life has a strange way of giving opportunities only to those who've done the quiet work long before they arrive. Number 9, build depth, not just speed. Our culture celebrates speed, fast money, fast careers, fast success. But the Stoics would tell you that a strong foundation is worth more than a fast rise. The faster something grows, the more fragile it often is. When you feel behind, it's easy to rush into decisions just to feel like you're moving forward. But hasty progress often leads to regret. Building slowly allows you to make thoughtful choices, to develop resilience, and to understand yourself better along the way. Think of a tree planted in shallow soil. It grows quickly but topples in a storm. A tree with deep roots takes longer to grow tall, but it can withstand anything. Your slow pace might actually be giving you depth, stability, and wisdom that others who rushed ahead will one day wish they had. So instead of asking, how fast can I get there? Ask, how strong can I become while getting there? The slower road might feel frustrating now, but it will give you a life you won't have to rebuild later. Number 10, see your story as still being written. When you feel behind, it's often because you've decided, consciously or not, that your story should already look a certain way. But the Stoics remind us that life is not a finished manuscript. It's a work in progress. Judging yourself mid-story is like walking out a movie halfway through and declaring it a bad film. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, political betrayals, and personal loss. Yet he kept writing his meditations as if to remind himself, the pen is still in your hand. Every day you wake up, you have the power to add a new chapter. Sometimes feeling behind is a sign you've been rereading old pages instead of writing new ones. You dwell on missed chances, past mistakes, or moments you can't change. But the Stoic approach is to turn the page, literally and mentally, and focus on what can still be written today. Your story is not over until it's over. And if you're still here, you're still in the middle of it. So stop worrying about being late to the plot twist. You might just be in the scene that sets it up.